Tim Hall did an excellent lesson on February 21st about calling upon the Lord. And I want to encourage you that if you've not seen that, really go check it out. It'll be linked in the comment section below or in the description. And he said something in there that got me thinking down a particular road. And that was about the altar that David built after the pestilence came in and ravaged the land and killing 70,000 men, all because David wanted to do a census of the people. He committed sin in his heart. David ended up purchasing the land from Ornan. He paid the price for the land and built an altar upon it in order to stop the pestilence. And this brought about deliverance for the people. There was the blessing of this event being done and God demonstrating his mercy and his forgiveness. And at the same time, there was the pain that was experienced in this because of the holiness of God. Now, the same site where David built the altar was Mount Moriah, and more could be said on this point, but for the time, let's focus on what that site became. And we see that in 2 Chronicles chapter 3 and verse 1. It said, Solomon began to build the house of the Lord in Jerusalem on Mount Moriah, where the Lord had appeared to David his father at the place that David had appointed on the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite. Okay, so I want us to put ourselves into the shoes of the Israelites as they're building the temple, or even at the dedication of the temple. I wonder if we might feel more emotion than just gladness and excitement. Let me explain. I wonder that as they looked at the temple and they were listening to the dedication that Solomon did, I wonder, do you think that they thought about the pestilence? Do you think that they remembered the 70,000 men that were killed because of David's sin? Now, some of that's speculation, some of that might be considered conjecture, but, there's a lot of times that we do the same thing, right? When we look at a particular place, a particular location, we might have a flood of thoughts that come along with that location, right? So I don't think it's too far out there to say that they probably thought of that. But, I also think that they were probably thinking about the blessing that God has decided to dwell with his people in this location, in this place. He has set his name in this place and has said, I want to interact with you. And that's beautiful too, isn't it? So really there's the remembrance of some of the sad event that happened that came about because of sin. But at the same time, there was a gladness and a hope and a beauty that came along with it as well because of what the temple represented. And I wonder if we might do the same thing when we look at the cross. Because as I look at the cross, I see a holy God who pours wrath upon sin. My sin, your sin, if you're at the age of accountability and can understand it, understand what sin is. But I also see a loving God who wants to be with me and therefore decided to take that sin upon himself. God's love and holiness met at the cross in Jesus. Jesus paid the price, and even though it saddens us, it's a reminder to the extent that God is willing to go in order to show how much he loves us. The Bible's beautiful. The God that the Bible points to is beautiful. And the love that God has for you is beautiful. And so, again, while we might look at the cross and remember the pain and the suffering, we can also look at the cross and see the beauty. And I think the beauty is there because of of what Jesus decided to do for us and all that that encompassed, all that he was willing to endure for us, let's never forget that while we might not be able to look at the temple like the Israelites did and have a flood of memories, when we look at the cross, when we look at Jesus, may we remember as much as we can about it and take a holistic view, because when we do, we really begin to see the beauty of God. I hope you have a wonderful day, and may God bless you.